Okay, then i-hyperbola, then i-structure sakhona sibanjani according to i-formula kawuyijonga i-formula yakhona injani. Then if let's say f of x, then f of x must be equal to a over x and then plus p and then plus 1 plus q, where q represents what? A vertical shift of the graph, and then p represents the horizontal shift of the graph. And then let's say, okay, then p represents horizontal shift, and then this vertical shift. Then how do we plot a hyperbolic function? What you're supposed to do, you need to first find the equation of the asymptote of the graph. And then secondly, you need to find x and y intercept. And then after you have equation of the asymptotes of the graph, and you also have the x and y intercept, then you're now able to sketch the graph. Sketch, let's say we are given the function as f of x must be equal to the positive gradient, which is 2, and then x minus p minus 2, and then plus 1 plus 4. The equations of the asymptotes of f would be y is equal to what? A positive 4, while x it gives us a positive 2. Then to find the x-intercept, you need to let y to be equal to 0. Then for x intercept, then let y equal to 0, and then 0 must be equal to 2 over x minus 2, and then plus 4. Then you take 4 on this side, on the left hand side, then it becomes a negative 4, then x minus what? Minus 2. This and this, then we call it for negative 4x, and then plus a positive 8 must be equal to 2. And then you just okay, let's say 4x is equal to, and then 2, then minus 8, and then you divide by the negative 4, both sides, negative 4, then must be equal to, and then we better calculate here. So that is born, but it's bani, then 2, and then minus 8, then you just divide by negative 4, it becomes a 3 over 2. And then now we have the x-intercept. We are now looking what? For the y-intercept, then for y-int, and let x to become 0, and then y must be equal to, then 2 over x, which is 0 now, and then minus 2, and then plus 4. Then see better in the calculator, then 2 over a negative 2, and then plus 4, then it gives us a 3. We are now able to sketch the graph because we now have the equation of the asymptotes of the function, and we also have the intercept, which is the y and the x-intercept of the graph. Then to sketch the graph of a hyperbola, as you need to have the equation of the asymptotes of the function, and secondly you need to find x and y intercept. Then we now have to indicate our asymptotes, where x is equal to 2 represent the vertical asymptote, where y is 4, which represent what? Represent the vertical asymptote, which is 4, and also 2. And then we now have to allocate our intercept. Then our x becomes 1.5, which is here, and then y it is 3. Then you join your points, like this. Join your points like this, but make sure that your graph doesn't touch any of your asymptotes. Make sure that your graph I touch nenye asymptotes, then 3/2 and then 3. Okay, then there must be a reflection of that graph. There must be a reflection. There must be a reflection. Yes, then done. Then done. Then sometimes they will look for the equation of the axis of symmetry. Either there is a positive or negative gradient. What you're supposed to do is that when the gradient, which is m, is greater than 0, which is the gradient is equal to 1. When m is less than 0, the gradient becomes a negative 1. Then how do you apply if maybe they are looking for the equations of the equation of axis of symmetry with a positive gradient? You use the equations of what? Of the straight line. We use the equations of the straight line. Use the equations of the straight line. I will use both of these methods. Then the first method, y is equal to mx and then plus c. Secondly, y and then minus y1 must be equal to mx minus x1. But both of these equations, they must give me a same answer. There won't be any difference. Then for now, we are looking for the equations of axis of symmetry with a positive gradient. Sifuna ubona ke ngoba ingaba izawusinika ntoni la equation with a positive gradient which is 1. And then we substitute the points of our axis of symmetry. Our axis of symmetry was 2 and also a positive 4. Then in place of y, you just place 4. In place of the gradient, you place 1. In place of x, you place 2. Then we are looking for the constant. Then 1 times 2, it's what? It's 2. Then you take over the 2. Then minus, it becomes a positive 2 must be equal to c. Then your equation would be that way. And then 1x and then plus 2. Therefore, y must be equal to x and then plus 2. Then if you are using this method on this side, you're not substituting in this place where y and also x. You only substitute the values, the axis of symmetry in place of y1 and x1 only. And then y must minus. Then in place of y1 you place 4, and then in place of the gradient, which is 1. Then x and then minus x was a 2. Then y minus what? Minus 4 must be equal to this and this. It becomes x, and this it becomes a minus 2. Then you take the 4, the negative 4 over on the right hand side. It becomes x and minus 2 and then plus what? Plus 4. Therefore your final answer will be x and then plus a positive 2. Done.